When did you start noticing the summer people coming in numbers and gradually large numbers?
I would say the 60s, yeah.
Yeah.
60s and 70s, and then
What was the attraction?
the country and the people at that time, and then of course, and then the younger crowd swimming. That's when the harbour was there, and then even when the harbour was there and our kids was growing up, we used to take them to Bottled Beach. It was safer for kids, we thought. Although we didn't think that kind of work ourselves when we were young, we had no fear of water, but as we grew older, we knew the danger of it. But my wife and I used to take the kids to Bottled Beach. But then the older crowd, of my kids was talking, I'm talking about 4 and 5 year olds, And like you say, the people that's gone. Too bad there wasn't some film made while there was some of the older people around and demonstrated more. Although I had that job. I'm not even sure when I started. I'd have to look it up to be exact. I would say in the late 70s or 80s, I was hired on by the museum with my own boat. At that time, they wanted a dory, so my father did have a dory, and they had that fixed up. Matter of fact, we got the second dory because my father still hobby fished in the summertime there too. He fished off Griffin Stand, up what we called the Griffin Stand there. But we geared up another dory, and I had put, I think it was 600 hooks along the shore, and fished that way with the dory, the way they did actually from time begin. And I had part of the building, the fish factory, set up there to dress the fish and explain what I caught. And what fish I caught, I just fixed them up and dressed them, and actually sold them right locally, right there at 3 o'clock in the day. My day was done. I had no fish left,
Yeah.
And every day, looking back, it was kind of a terrifying looking thing, but it wasn't in my mind. Everything was safe. It was the Lord's pocket. Them dories, there were lifeboats for big boats, I always had people up with me. Adults, sometimes kids with parents, but we always had an understanding. The parents' job was to look after the kids at their own risk. I had no responsibility. I made that a known fact. And I knew they were in no danger, but they had to obey by the rules. Stay inside the boat, you're in no trouble, And I wouldn't be out there if it wasn't fit. I wouldn't take them any place where it wasn't fit. But that was a terrible big attraction. I had a list of people that wanted to go out. In fact, they had to make an appointment. So lots of times they make trips in the evenings just to take parents out with kids just for the boat sail. Probably pick up the end of a set of hooks or gear just to show them where it was on. Just to, if there was fish or two on it, I'd take them and they could have it. But just to show. They're all the big tourist attraction then was from Ontario, Quebec. A lot of people from Ontario, and then an awful lot of friends from Maine and Vermont and Boston. But then gradually it started coming from further away. That it was really when Red Point developed the what would you call it down there, the park. And there was a lot of people from the States came from that. And next year they took their friends because they enjoyed the place and the people and the scenery. And the good fresh fish, I must say.
Yeah.
I was proud of that.
Yeah.
But I had, it was a popular attraction,
Yeah.
And then I done it like the fishermen always did. I remember when the boats was there, everything went overboard, and all your fish offal and all your heads, all the waste was overboard. And still today, see, some people would call that pollution. Today, that was putting oxygen in the water. It made the water alive. And then all your small fish came, your flatfish, and at night time the dock would be full of mackerel coming in and smelts and everything. Everything was ate up clear of bones. And the water was pure, clear, right up into the harbour, right up into the what they call there now the lagoon, eh?
Yes.
The water would be clear as crystal. I remember going across there.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was, I used to have a fleet of smelt nets when everything was booming there. And right across from that stand and what they call the Basin Head Road there. And then there's an old little spring there. You probably heard tell of the Shoemaker Spring. I had a fleet of nets. Went right across from that Shoemaker Spring to the fish stand over there. And the smelts was the finest kind, sometimes herring, sometimes trout, which you definitely had to put back, but sometimes they were dead in the nets, eh? But they made good eating anyway. But the water was pure.
Yeah.
The fish off, I saw it over the years, all the harbours where they, especially in Surrey, North Lake, where the environment thought fish offal was pollution. But when they quit putting that stuff in the harbours like Surrey and North Lake, and then all the power boats was there with the diesel spills and the oil spills, the harbours become dead.
Yeah.
You can't see bottom.
Yeah.
There's no fish there. There's nothing.
Did you fish eels there?
Eels was to an abundance. You know, I didn't fish them commercially, but around the harbours there, at them times, we used to get them with hooks and spears, and then personally myself, I never ate them. You know, I didn't enjoy it, but my father lived on them. But there's always lots of people would want an eel, and I had to get one when I was a young fellow around the harbour there. But my father would give great stories of eel fishing in the lagoon there, right? That's a new name for that, but we call it Basin Head, you know. But we didn't have a lagoon like that.
Yeah.
But when the first ice good enough to get a horse on, they take horse and pong sleighs, they call it, the box sleighs, and that's the way they would eel. That and fill up the sleigh. So there was eels to abundance. There was everything there in that pond.
Yeah.
I remember different times. I don't know why. It'd be something like why does a whale come ashore or a blackfish, but I remember herring to abundance coming into the pond there, and be windrows all along. They rotted there. Now, why they come ashore, I don't know. But they rotted in the beach. But still, that made there was traction for other fish and birds, and seagulls. There was when I say it rotted, there was nothing. It was all ate up before it rotted. Everything ate but the bones. You know, there was a terrible attraction for birds of all kinds, ducks, geese, the blue heron, and all that. You know, it was a place was alive. You know, there's it's different than if you walk around today. You can't hear sometimes a crow. You know, but everything was like it used to be in the 60s. If you walk in the woods, you see tracks and everything's alive.
Did you see foxes, snowshoe hare,
Yeah.
animals like that?
Yeah.
Where would they be, on the dunes?
Oh, on the dunes, yeah. Yeah. Oh, even on this side, there's little woods all along the shore there.
Yeah.
But, where we lived in Kingsbury there, I was only a young fellow, but there's all the lanes back to the woods there was finest kind of spots for young fellows with snares. You'd always all kinds of tracks.
Yeah.